This is the latest music news on Tom Petty. We have the cause of death released by the medical examiner who presented his final analysis on the musician's death to his family and revealed that the cardiac arrest was due to an accidental prescription drug overdose. Now, I know how that can sound right away. You think, oh, here's another rock star that OD'd on drugs. But when you really get into it, which is why I'm glad that we're able to get into it, is so in depth here. It's not that simple. It's not that cut and dry. You know, he was dealing with a lot of stuff, a lot of issues, a lot of ailments, and he was also, you know, dealing with a lot of drugs then, you know, as a result of that. A lot of prescription medications. He was prescribed fentanyl patches to deal with the emphysema, knee problems, and a fractured hip, according to a statement just released by his family. The family said that Petty's hip injury worsened as he toured last year with the Heartbreakers to the point where it graduated to a full break. So what was originally like a little fracture, I guess, or maybe a hairline situation, because he was touring so much, it actually became a full break. I mean, it's crazy to think about. When you think about it, you know, all in, the guy died doing what he loved. Because anybody would have said, like, okay, cancel the tour, get better, you know, get everything under control, get some rest, get off your hip for a little while, you know, heal up nice and then come back. But Tom wanted to just keep going. He just wanted to keep going. And every show and every night, that hip got worse and worse and worse until finally it became a full break. I mean, there's athletes that, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, athletes take more precautions and things, and, you know, the tiniest little thing, and, you know, you don't want your star quarterback, you know, hurt long term, or your star goaltender or whatever, so you rest them all the time so that they heal, so that you can, you know, I guess it's a little bit different when you're a musician and you don't have a general manager and a coach and an offensive coach and everybody kind of worrying about you. You know, he's kind of the man in that situation to say, I'm sure people said, hey, maybe we should take a break, but he was probably like, no, I want to keep going. You know, he was informed of the diagnosis on the day of his death. And according to his family, they say, and I quote here, "It is our feeling that the pain was simply unbearable and was the cause for his overuse of medication." Here's the full statement from the family. Quote, "Our family sat together this morning with the medical examiner, coroner's office, and we were informed of the final analysis that Tom Petty passed away due to an accidental drug overdose as a result of taking a variety of medications. Unfortunately, Tom's body suffered from many serious ailments, including emphysema, knee problems, and most significantly, a fractured hip. Despite this painful injury, he insisted on keeping his commitment to his fans, and he toured for 53 dates with a fractured hip. As he did, it worsened to a more serious injury." Pause from the quote there for a second. 53 dates. 53 dates. I stubbed my toe, I call in sick. I can't be walking. You know what I'm saying? I can't get here at 6 o'clock in the morning with a stubbed toe. That's impossible. 53 dates on a broken hip. That's dedication and commitment. Continuing with the statement, quote, "On the day he died, he was informed his hip had graduated to a full break, and it is our feeling that the pain was simply unbearable and was the cause for his overuse of medication. We knew before the report was shared with us that he was prescribed various pain medications for a multitude of issues, including fentanyl patches, and we feel confident that this was, as the coroner found, an unfortunate accident. As a family, we recognize this report may spark a further discussion on the opioid crisis, and we feel that is a healthy and necessary discussion, and we hope in some way this report can save lives. Many people who overdose begin with a legitimate injury or simply do not understand the potency and deadly nature of these medications. On a positive note, we now know for certain he went painlessly and beautifully exhausted after doing what he loved for one last time, performing live with his unmatchable rock band for his loyal fans on the biggest tour of his 40-plus year career. He was extremely proud of that achievement in the days before he passed. We continue to mourn with you and marvel at Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' incredible positive impact on music and the world. And we thank you for all your love and support over the last months. Thank you also for respecting the memory of a man who was truly great during his time on this planet, both publicly and privately. We would be grateful if you could respect the privacy of the entire Heartbreaker family during this difficult time. Dana Petty and Adria Petty. So from his wife and his daughter, that was the official statement there. It's so tough. And I'll tell you what, as elegant of a statement as there ever has been, recognizing that there is a big problem with these medications, and being sensitive to the fact that most of the people who do die from ODing on these medications, it does start with a legit injury. You really got to be careful with this stuff, but also, maintaining the integrity of their father, and that this was an accident. It's very easy to have. Look, I had a tooth pulled, and I was just taking ibuprofen, and I was up to the you can only take a pill every 4 hours or 12 hours, whatever. To the minute I was waiting, just because I was in so much pain, So I can't imagine the hip, and then he's got the other stuff, and you don't really know, and then you're mixing all these things, and all right, let me just take a little extra because the pain is unbearable. And, at his age, after the exhausting tour that he had just been through, you can understand why something like this could be the result. But it's a wonderful teaching moment, as I feel his wife and his daughter put, that this should be part of the ongoing discussion of what's happening in our country, in our world right now. But at the same time, this is not, this was a man who was just in pain, and essentially, like I said, died doing what he loved, and shouldn't be taken more out of context than for what it is. So I thought that was eloquently put on behalf of the Petty family right there. So now we know the cause of death for Tom Petty. It's unfortunate. Like I said, if he had only, I guess he found out later on that the injury was as full as it was, but if he would have consulted a doctor a little bit earlier and taken some more precautions, who knows, we may still have him today. But again, when you're out there doing what you love, it's hard to stop anybody from doing that. It really, really is. So that's the latest on Tom Petty. I still miss him either way, I still miss him regardless.